Welcome to Mom with Issues. I'm your host, resident mom with issues, Alice Rainey. And yep, I've got issues. But I'm thinking if you're here, you may have a few issues too. Issues that make being a mom different, harder, and more colorful than the one-dimensional idea of a mom present all over social media. So, grab a tasty beverage, a comfy seat, the good chocolate, and let's unpack this stuff. I know I'm not alone. Today's episode is brought to you by Migraines. No, it's not just a headache. No, I'm not just dehydrated. Yes, I took something for it. If those phrases sound familiar, then this is the episode for you. A migraine is more than a headache. For me, it can be a debilitating pain. And this dusty broad does not travel alone. She comes with aura, dizziness, slurred speech, and sensitivity to light and sound. Some days I go to bed with a migraine and wake up with a migraine. It can last for days. And the longer it lasts, the harder it is to get through the day and just be a human. Every task becomes harder. That includes being a mom to two small humans. So, here's your friendly reminder. I am not a medical professional. Nothing I say here should be considered medical advice. All stories are anecdotal. If I mention something that hits home for you, please discuss it with your medical provider. Any stats and facts that I throw at you will be listed in the show notes. Say it with me. We do not take medical advice from strangers on the internet. Agreed? Good. Now let's jump in. Alarm goes off at 6:58 a.m. Before you even open your eyes, you feel the sharp pain behind your left eye. It's going to be that kind of day. Surprise! You have a migraine. Snooze once, snooze twice. If you're going to work, you need to get up now. You're out of snoozes. So, you reluctantly open your eyes. The sharp pain that was behind your left eye is somehow worse. If it was a 6 before, it's definitely a 10 now. You lay there, 2 minutes longer, soaking in the momentary quiet. But you can't stay there too long. You have to go. So, you swing your feet to the floor and stumble to the bathroom. Slightly dizzy and very nauseous. You take your vitamins, a couple of Tylenol, an Advil, and then shuffle to the shower. You stand under the hot water, eyes closed. Thank goodness for small favors. At least you can stand. Some days, standing isn't an option, so you'll sit on the shower floor. But today is a standing day. So you stand with your head pressed against the cool tile wall, waiting for your meds to kick in. You get dressed, doing the absolute bare minimum. Even choosing a hairstyle feels like an unnecessary amount of effort. You can't stand the sound of the hairdryer, but you also don't want wet hair on your neck. A ponytail or a bun is absolutely out of the question. Your head is screaming with tension enough as it is. We are not adding to it. So, you settle on a hair clip. As you gather your keys and coffee, the meds finally kick in, just enough for you to hop in the car and make your 40-minute commute to work in silence. At work, the clack of the keyboard feels like a personal attack. Chatty co-workers seem particularly talkative, even the people who normally do not speak to you at all. decide that today is the day that they must fill you in on all of the details of their life. And the clock, it seems to drag. After lunch, your monitor seems to have a hazy glow. Meds have worn off. So, along with increasing pain, you've got visual aura. A slight blur or fuzz around the edges of the light. Your nausea is returning too, so you grab a Red Bull, hoping the caffeine will take some of the edge off. 6 o'clock finally rolls around, another round of meds, and back in the car. As you head home, still in silence, you try to ignore the pain, still present in your head. You call home to say you're on the way and notice a new symptom. You're having a hard time finding the words. It's that tip of the tongue feeling where the right words are just out of reach. But it's not just that. Your words are slurred, and the space between your words is growing. Are you having a stroke? No, you're not. But damn it if it doesn't feel that way. Just another fun collection of migraine symptoms. The workday is over, but you can't punch out just yet. There's mom stuff to be done. At home, 6 and 10 are happy to see you, and while you're happy to be home with them, your smile is forced. It hurts. It actually hurts to smile. Dinner is ready, and any other time it would be a welcome smell, but the pain has made you nauseous for hours, and eating is no longer an option. You review homework, the pain in your eye radiating across your forehead and down your cheek. You nod quietly as they tell you about their day. You're nodding, but you're not listening. It hurts too much, and all you can do is hope they stop talking soon. Bedtime is a struggle, and after repeating, brush your teeth for the 4th time, you lose it. You snap at your kiddos and storm off to the safety and quiet of your bedroom. In the dark, in the quiet, you feel terrible. Physically, mentally, emotionally, everything hurts. You emerge quietly from your room, apologize for yelling, and ask your partner to finish putting the kids to bed. Back in your bedroom, you get ready for bed in the dark. You take a shower in the dark. You grab a light-blocking eye mask and try to get comfortable. Laying in the cool, dark, quiet room is the most comfortable you felt all day. But even still, falling asleep is difficult because of the pain and the dizziness and the nausea, which has not let up. But as you finally drift off to sleep, you hope quietly that when you wake up in the morning, the migraine is gone. That was a good day. That was a day that doesn't come screeching to a halt because you can't open your eyes because of extreme light sensitivity. On bad days, we don't go to work. On bad days, we don't drive. On bad days, we can't open our eyes. On bad days, we can't leave the bed because of the nausea and the dizziness, completely overwhelming. On bad days, we feel like a bad mom because we just can't be present. Now, emphasis on feel. We feel like a bad mom. We are not bad moms. We are moms in pain, and we're human. Your feelings aren't facts, okay? For me, the migraine started at puberty, but my first migraine wasn't my first exposure. See, my mom suffered from terrible migraines. I remember bringing her bowls of ice water so that she could soak her face towel in it and place it over her eyes. and on her neck. I remember her voice barely above a whisper, her room pitch black from the blackout curtains. With the fan on and the thermostat set in the 60s, it felt less like a bedroom and more like a cave. Tylenol PM was a bedside staple, and if she absolutely had to be up and about, extra strength Excedrin rattled about like Tic Tacs. So, I was lucky. I had a mom that could spot the symptoms and knew exactly how to help straight away. And it made my first migraine less scary. And if I'm being honest, I don't even really remember my first migraine. What I do remember is my best friend's first migraine. See, we were hanging out one weekend. She was staying with us, like a weekend sleepover. And we were freshmen in high school. And we had just gone out for lunch with my parents. And as soon as we returned home, she got to revisit her lunch right on our driveway. She then told my mom how she saw little spots and stars and felt like she was going to pass out. My mom, being the pro that she was, knew the symptoms and got her all sorted. See, migraines aren't uncommon. They're the third most prevalent illness in the world, with over 12% of the population, including kiddos, suffering from them. Migraines are most common between the ages of 18 and 44, and guess what, ladies? It's more common in women, with 18% of women versus only 6% of men suffering. Your typical migraine can last anywhere from 4 to 72 hours. And it's worse for those with chronic migraine. They endure at least 15 migraine days per month. Think about that. 15 days, over half of the month, you're dealing with the type of pain that I described in the beginning. Chronic migraine can cause depression, anxiety, and sleep disturbances. And once you find out that 85% of chronic migraine sufferers are women and 20% of those sufferers are disabled, it's hard to imagine anyone thinking it's just a headache. So give yourself some grace. Be easy with yourself. It is an unrealistic expectation that you should just deal with it. I would never suggest to a friend that they power through any of the migraine symptoms. So why do I expect the same of myself? I don't know. But not all migraines are built the same. They aren't all just a shooting, throbbing, pulsating head pain. Constipation, mood changes, food cravings, neck stiffness, visual phenomena, weakness or numbness in the face or one side of the body, difficulty speaking, hearing noises or music. And after the attack, in medical jargon it's called the post-drome stage, you can feel drained and confused. Even sudden head movements, like from a cough or a sneeze, can bring the pain back. Look at those symptoms. They range from PMS-type symptoms to stroke-like feelings. Say it with me. It is unrealistic to be expected to just deal with it. For me, my period is a consistent migraine trigger. Every month, before the PMS starts, and for the entirety of my period, I have a migraine. It's not a level 10 the entire time. It definitely ebbs and flows. And it's worse at the beginning than it is at the end, kind of like all period symptoms. But she makes herself at home the entire time Aunt Flo is in town. And it's friggin' exhausting. And on top of already pretty bad PMS with cramps and cravings and the whole GI upset, a migraine is the last thing I need. Unfortunately for me, I have a heart condition, neurocardiogenic syncope. It's the entirety of the alphabet to say my heart and my brain do not communicate very well. And that miscommunication causes my blood pressure to tank and makes me feel dizzy and occasionally pass out. I'm like one of those fainting sheep. So, because of that, I can't take any of the standard migraine medicines. They all interact with my heart, so I'm stuck with literally anything else. I keep painkillers everywhere. I have a bottle in my makeup bag, one in my car, my husband's car, my desk at work. I even keep a bottle downstairs so I don't have to trek all the way upstairs if the pain strikes. The faster I can get the meds in, the sooner it stops. And despite knowing that, despite suffering from migraines for over 20 years, I am constantly in denial at the start of each migraine. Every time. Fun fact, it's never just a headache. But despite that, at the first twinges of pain, I tell myself, it's just a headache. It'll go away in a little bit. It's never just a headache. I don't even think I know what a quote-unquote regular headache feels like. But if I can move past my denial quickly enough and get some meds, a touch of caffeine, lower the lights, I might get away with a migraine that will dissolve in a few hours. But unfortunately, as I often do, I wait too long. And then the blame is solely on me, and so is the extended pain. So, since I can't take the standard meds, I've tried alternatives, and things like my beta blockers for my heart condition have actually reduced the number of migraine days I have per month. So I'm grateful for that. I even got my tragus pierced to see if that would relieve them. In case you're wondering, your tragus is that little cartilage bit on the side of your face. It's that little nugget that keeps your AirPods in place. Tragus piercings are believed to help lessen the frequency of migraines. It's based on the idea that people who received acupuncture in that same spot and same area saw a reduction in the frequency of their migraines. I'll include in the show notes a link to this 2016 review, which analyzed 22 different trials that included almost 5,000 participants. And the results, yep, see, you hear it? It's happening while I'm recording. I'm having a migraine attack mid-recording. So, this will be fun. The results concluded not only was the frequency of migraines reduced, but acupuncture, and having received at least 6 different acupuncture treatments, was as effective as treatment with prophylactic drugs. Now, it's important to note that this was a study about the effects of acupuncture, which people have extrapolated out to, include tragus piercings. However, the studies itself did note that the long-term effects of piercing or acupuncture for chronic migraine needed more study. And if you want to check all this out, like I said, I'll include some articles that mention this study, as well as direct links to the study and review itself in the show notes, and I'll also include it on the Discord. Life with a migraine is hard. It brings pain, but it doesn't come alone. Aside from all the physical burdens, there's mental ones, like guilt. Guilt from mood swings that cause you to snap. Guilt from canceled plans because today is a no-bones day. Guilt for missing performances, shows, movies, outings because you physically just can't do it. And it doesn't matter that it's not your fault. It doesn't matter that their tiny voice tells you, it's okay, mommy. It doesn't feel okay. You feel checked out. You feel stressed. You feel like you're failing. You feel like you should be able to ignore this and press on. You feel like a bad mom, but you aren't. I know it's hard. It's okay to feel all the things, but I hope you've been reminded that feelings aren't facts. So take it slow. Show yourself some grace. Be easy with yourself. Treat yourself the way your best friend would. Yeah, satisfy that food craving. Take that extra nap. Take 5 minutes to see if some down dogs help. Paint your toes. Gesture toes, because no one cares if they get smudged. It's not sandal season anymore. Make a cup of chamomile tea. Color, but ignore the lines. And if all else fails, Uber eat dinner for the fam, turn on a movie, and call it a night. Easier said than done. I know. I have to remind myself that it's okay to do these things. I have to remember to take it easy, despite every urge to do one more thing. And I'm going to check my privilege here, because I know that for many mamas, especially those without a support system, taking the necessary downtime to shut out the world is not feasible. Work is inflexible, family is far away or estranged, partners are either unsupportive or absent. And I'm not trying to say that having a migraine means that you absolutely must shut it all down. Lots of well-meaning articles, one of which we'll go over at the end of this episode, will tell you you must increase exercise, you must maintain a regular sleep schedule, you must only eat organic. But life has rarely behaved as it must. What I'm saying is that I see the struggle and I know how much it hurts. And that on days when the symptoms overwhelm and they get the best of you and you can only give your kiddos a fraction of your energy and attention and time, know that it's okay. It's okay if the pain means pizza for dinner. The kids won't starve and the migraine monster is satisfied. It's okay if they get extra screen time with headphones, because it stops the barrage of never-ending questions. It's okay. Self-care isn't always naps and yoga. Sometimes self-care is whatever it takes to make sure you're safe and comfortable. No time for a long bath? Take a hot shower with some eucalyptus oil. It will smell just like a steam sauna. Buy yourself a single bar of the good chocolate, or treat yourself to a hellish strong Starbucks. Caffeine plus endorphins might do the trick. So where do we go from here? What do we do now? I am literally having a migraine attack right now, and you might suffer from one next week. So how did this episode help? Well, I thought we'd close out today by giving you some resources and reviewing some of the recommendations from the Mayo Clinic. Links to these resources and articles will be in the show notes, as always. In an article written by a very well-intentioned Mayo Clinic staff, here's what they suggest. Now, I've broken it up into good, bad, and okay, Jan. So, let's jump in, huh? For the good, we've got turn off the lights. Migraines often increase sensitivity to light and sound. Relax in a dark, quiet room. Sleep if you can. Okay, fair. Yep, I agree. Try temperature therapy. Apply hot or cold compresses to your head or neck. Ice packs have a numbing effect, which may dull the sensation of pain, while hot packs and heating packs can relax tense muscles. Warm showers and baths may have a similar effect. Again, I'm right there with you guys. Drink a caffeinated beverage. In small amounts, caffeine alone can relieve migraine pain in the early stages or enhance the pain and reducing effects of acetaminophen. Nope. Your head hurts too much for you to say that word right now. Tylenol. Enhance the pain-reducing effects of Tylenol and aspirin. Yes, I'm probably going to take some meds when I'm done here. I should do it right now, but I'm not gonna. We're gonna power through. We're gonna ignore everything I just told you to do, and we're gonna power through. Next, it says keep a food journal. Keeping track of the foods you eat and when you experience migraines can help you identify food triggers. And once you do that, you can avoid your triggers, right? So if you suspect that a certain food, such as aged cheese, chocolate, caffeine, or alcohol is triggering your migraines, eliminate it from your diet and see what happens. Now, have I done this? Nope. Should I do this? Absolutely. Will I do this? Probably not. Ignorance is bliss, okay? Well, not really. In this case, ignorance is a headache. But, I mean, I don't want to give up any of my fave things. Like, do I? Do I really want to give up chocolate if it means I won't have a migraine ever again? Like, what kind of life is that? I don't need that. I don't need that, man. We don't need that. Oh, next they suggest keeping a migraine diary. Again, highly recommend. It goes right along with the idea of a food journal. I don't do either one of those, but I definitely should. Most of me not actually doing these things probably is because I don't like journaling. I'm really inconsistent at best. So, no, never gonna happen. But you should try it. Definitely try it. And if you try it, let me know. I'm really interested to see, if people identify their triggers and how their life improves after they eliminate them. I may never know. The world may never know. They also suggest taking a break. If you feel overwhelmed, a few slow stretches or a quick walk may renew your energy for the task at hand. So yeah, positions like down dog, things that get the blood flowing to your head while you have a migraine might actually seem like it would hurt more. And if it does, obviously stop. But getting that blood flowing to your head might actually decrease the pain and make you feel better. So, it's worth a try. And then their last of the good suggestions, in my opinion, is enjoy yourself. Find time to do something you enjoy for at least 15 minutes every day. It could be playing a game, having coffee with a friend, or pursuing a hobby. Doing something you enjoy is a natural way to combat stress. Okay. Yep. That's great. I agree with all of those. Don't do them all, but agree with all of them. These next few aren't bad, but they are great examples of the type of suggestions that drive people that suffer from chronic migraines or frequent migraines absolutely insane. So let's see what they suggest here. They say exercise regularly. Yep. Absolutely, absolutely. You should be exercising regularly for your health in general. However, pounding the pavement with a headache is not a move, G. It's not what you want to do. Doing yoga when you're nauseous? Nope, nobody's trying to do that. Can't stand up, can't open your eyes. No, exercise is not a thing that you can do. And if you don't do it, it doesn't mean that you didn't try everything possible. Right? Because you might come across a doctor that says, well, did you try this? Yeah, no, I didn't try hurtling myself, on the treadmill as I was, spotting out with my eyes. No, I didn't try exercise. But it doesn't mean that you haven't tried everything worth trying, right? This next one is amazing. Adjust your attitude, ladies. Adjust your attitude. Stay positive. If you find yourself thinking, this can't be done, switch gears. Think instead, this will be tough, but I can make it work. Okay, nope, stop, no, absolutely not, no. Yes, you can adjust your attitude and you can be grateful for the small things. Yep, you sure can. Is that going to make your migraine go away? No. Is it going to make you feel better? Maybe? Are you going to want to punch someone in the teeth if they suggest adjusting your attitude to rectify your migraine pain? Yes, absolutely, 100%. You will catch a case. They will catch these hands. You will catch a case. No, we're going to skip that. Don't do that. Adjust your attitude. Yeah, sure. But also adjust these hands. Relax. Right along with adjust your attitude. Relax. Deep breathing from your diaphragm can help you relax. Focus on inhaling and exhaling slowly and deeply for at least 10 minutes every day. It may also help to consciously relax your muscles, one group at a time. When you're done, sit quietly for a minute or two. Okay. Laughs in mom. Laughs in the idea of 10 quiet minutes. Laughs at the idea of sitting quietly for a minute or two. laughs at the idea of relax. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the audacity of telling someone you have a migraine and then them responding with, well, have you tried to relax? Okay, you know what? No. Have you tried to get away from me before I strike you? Like, I'm not a physically violent person, despite what it sounds like here, but ooh, the anger is strong with this one when you give me unhelpful advice. Okay? And these last few are just not a vibe with mom life, okay? So as I was reading this, I was literally saying, okay, Jan, after each of these. So please feel free to chime in. Yes, they are good advice. And if you can, please do. But don't feel like you're a failure for not being able to do any or all of these. Life happens. And in this house, we roll with the punches. So let's see what they're suggesting finally. Establish regular sleep hours. Wake up and go to bed at the same time every day, even on weekends. If you nap during the day, keep it short. Naps longer than 20 to 30 minutes may interfere with nighttime sleep. Okay, yeah, true. I mean, absolutely true advice all the way around. Establish regular sleep hours. Yep, we all heard that before. And you should wake up on the same time on the weekends that you do during the week. Yes, we all have heard that before as well too. We hate it. We hate it, especially if we have to wake up really early during the week. Like, no one wants to do that on Saturday. It's good advice. Listen, it's good advice. But no. As a mom, establishing regular sleep hours, I mean, for my kids, yes. For me, it is literally a barrage of things I have to get done for today that need to get done before tomorrow as I'm wrapping up. So like regular sleep, what is that? I don't know what that is. They also suggest you unwind at the end of the day. Anything that helps you relax can promote better sleep. Listen to soothing music, soak in a warm bath, read a favorite book, listen to this podcast. That last one I added, but I mean, like, maybe this one isn't such a bad idea. Like, yes, unwind at the end of the day is a great idea, and you should do it. It's not as if we weren't already trying to unwind at the end of the day. But, like, again, is this really a migraine tip? Is this even something that works for moms? No. I mean, maybe. I don't know if they call it unwinding, and it's definitely not a regular thing. Very often unwinding means I have done all of the last things that I need to do and I have collapsed. My list is complete, but I have collapsed. This one cracks me up. Be consistent with your food. Eat about the same time every day. These are a couple of meal related ones. Don't skip meals. Fasting increases the risk of migraines. Yes and yes. You should be consistent in your eating, and you shouldn't skip meals, but consistent in eating as a mom does not mean you finished their chicken nuggets, you had a handful of goldfish, and you may or may not be only running on caffeine otherwise. I don't think that's what they mean by consistent. But as a mom, consistent is not high up in our vocabulary index. Same thing goes for not skipping meals. Like, I can consistently skip meals. How about that? Does that work? I mean, potato. Same. They also recommend simplifying your life. You hear that, y'all? Simplify your life. That's all it takes. Simplify your life. Get rid of those migraines. You want to get rid of those migraines? You simplify your life. Don't look for ways to squeeze more activities or chores into the day. Instead, find a way to leave some things out. Because you were drowning and you didn't know that maybe you should be looking for a way to not be drowning. Maybe you should just make it more simple. This is another one of the suggestions where it's just like, who wrote this? Did you have a word limit count where you're now just suggesting any old thing? Like, no, stop it. Also, along with that, they say manage your time wisely. Update your to-do list every day, both at work and at home. Delegate what you can and divide large projects into manageable chunks. And I'm saving the best for last, but these last three all kind of go together. So you simplify your life and you manage your time wisely. So maybe you simplify your life by managing your time wisely, right? So they're calling you inefficient, saying you're doing too much. But the very last one is to strive for balance. There's not even any further description like the past ones I read. It just says strive for balance. What? What kind of terrible gaslighting, just like shaming feeling would this list bring upon someone, right? Like, there's some good nuggets in there. And reading it as it's written, as this one big long list, designated in groups by different, areas of your life, like sleep and food and stress and all that stuff. Reading the list as they wrote it, it might make you feel a kind of way, right? Because there are good things on there, and there are things on there that make sense. Especially as, someone who suffers from migraines, these are all good points. But as a mom who suffers from migraines, this list doesn't fully apply to us, right? It doesn't fully apply to me because those last few things just don't jive with my mom vibe, right? I can't be consistent in not skipping meals. I mean, I could try harder, I suppose. But there are other things that I put my effort and time into, and that is not one of them. And yeah, as I'm saying this out loud, maybe I should, right? Maybe I should focus more on myself and preventing these migraines and heading them off at the pass so I can be more present. But I'm also not going to beat myself up for not living up to some random list standards for trying everything. I'm still a good mom. I'm still a good person. I'm still kicking ass and taking names, even if I don't live up to the list standard. And so are you. I'm proud of you. So before we go, I just want to leave you with a couple more resources that I came across while I was researching this episode. One of those resources was a company called NuRx. Yep, I almost said NURX because that's how it's spelled. It's NURX. And no, this episode isn't sponsored by them, but if y'all want to hit me up. Anyway, I joke, I kid, not really. They offer headache treatment plans with $0 out of pocket with covered insurance, and they range from $25 to $70 per month for the treatment of occasional and frequent migraines as well as frequent tension headaches. Now, I haven't tried any of their plans or their medicines, so I can't attest for how well it works or what kind of treatment you'd be receiving, but if anyone out there has, please let me know your experiences. I'd love to know. Yeah, you can hit me up on Discord or TikTok and let me know if you've tried it and how it worked for you. If you're feeling adventurous and you've tried everything else and nothing has worked, you might want to investigate some clinical trials. And no, we do not sign up for trials found on Facebook or Craigslist. You can Google migraine trials near me and see what comes up. Look for studies conducted by reputable hospitals and universities. For example, the Mayo Clinic is currently in the third phase of clinical trials, testing the use of Botox in adolescents, that'd be kids 12 to 17, that suffer from chronic migraines. Let's not forget that kids can experience migraines too, and they're more likely to suffer if you do. So I'll include an article with links for symptoms in kids because their symptoms often present differently. Weird kid migraine symptom? Complaining of a stomach ache. Who knew? So a kiddo doubled over with the stomach cramps might not be fighting that tummy bug that's going around after all. So I'll keep trying new things, being gentle with myself, and sharing what works and what doesn't along the way. If you have any tips or hacks or things that you've tried that have been tried and true and work for you, let me know. I'm all ears. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for sharing space with me today. I know when you're in the thick of it, it can feel like a very lonely place. And seeing the way out is easier with a buddy, and especially a buddy that's been there before. I've been there. I'll help you out. Just remember, you're not alone. You never were. And the idea that it takes a village was lost along the way. So let's get it back. Let's form our own village, a collective of moms with issues, a community of moms that know that one bad day doesn't make you a bad mom, a group of moms that will cheer you on, lift you up, and help you out. If you like what you've heard, leave a review for the show. I'd really appreciate it. And it's the best way to help other moms find us. New episodes release on Sundays. Until then, join the community on Discord. For random laughs and behind-the-scenes videos, follow me at The Mom With Issues on TikTok, and check out my Linktree for a link to be a part of the show. Until next time.